And it's not a theory that a foreign government can hack our IT systems. I have personally worked on hacks at the Commerce Department, at the DoD, attacks on the Secret Service, attacks on the intelligence community, attacks on more than 20 of my banking clients, all from foreign national parties. And guess what? Sometimes they got in. And that's been in the press. Voting machines are horribly unsecure. Could China decide a US presidential election? Absolutely. Could Israel? Absolutely. Could Romania? Absolutely. Could a really good gang of Brazilian high school kids? Absolutely. That's how easy it is. By the way, the Brazilians, one of the best data security organizations out there is the Church of Scientology. Because they are paranoid and crazy and have all this stuff. And basically, there's this group of Brazilian kids who can't stand the Scientologists. And as you may know, all this stuff gets published on the web because they keep hacking their systems to steal their data. And they also post all of these inflammatory things inside their networks. So this is a bunch of Brazilian kids who do it for fun against an organization that has hundreds of full-time IT people trying to stop the Brazilian kids. Could the Brazilian kids, if they suddenly say, you know something? I think that Carmen Miranda would be a wonderful write-in candidate. It's like, trust me, they could do it. It would not be difficult to pull off. Obviously, no one would believe that result. So, but you could do it technically.
Well, you make me wonder because just today we were reading the article. It's in Newsweek right now, and also on Agence.
Israel hacking the campaigns.
Was it Israel?
Oh, of course it was. Israel hacks all the campaigns. It may have been China as well, but there may be multiple cases. I don't know the specifics of that one, but
right, to determine foreign policy.
They want to know where people are going on Israel. There are little tiny things surrounded by a bunch of hostile people. They want to know in advance, and they want to get their lobbyists in the door early. You bet, they do it to everybody.
A minute ago, you mentioned Josh Bolton. What's the connection there?
Can you talk about that?
Oh, well, I have ruffled feathers in a number of departments and all the way up to the White House because I keep on this issue. And they're like, in public what they'll say is, we respect the vote and the people out there doing a great job, but I'm sure behind closed doors they're like, it's fairly, there's people that I consider people like Brad DeLong to be patriots and moderates, but they can paint him over on the left. It's harder with me because, on one week I'm addressing the Special Operations Command on Follow the Money Solutions, and it's like, they can't really say, well, he's just one of those lefties. It's like, no, actually I'm pro-genocide in some cases because there's really evil people in the world and you should go hunt them down and kill them. And I'm fine with that. If people go ahead and break the social bound, go get them. And if you're going to hack a vote, then that means you're coming after my democracy, and then I'm coming after you. And I don't care who you are. Great. You may have bigger guns today, and, and there's a number of people who said, don't get hit by a bus. And, you got to die of something. I mean, you think about what people went through to build this country. You think about Valley Forge. You think about what my ancestors were. My grandfather served in northern India as a special attachment during World War II. He was behind enemy lines with the Japanese after they swept down to us for 3 years with no communication coming out. Why? So he could keep the material and information flow for a certain sector going. You hear about these stories of what these guys went through. I live in a beautiful home. I have no problems. I've got an apartment in D.C. I travel the world. I'm treated very well by my clients and friends. To step up and say, this is wrong and it's harming my country, it's fine. Great. And no one's shooting at me, at least not yet. And people have said some nasty things. I've been pulled from contracts. On 2 different occasions, I've had people say, we've gotten a call and we can't work with you because you're so out front on this issue. Oh, yeah. Sure, that's the way this White House has functioned, or the way the outgoing White House has functioned. I mean, I'm not Valerie Plame or Joe Wilson. I mean, they took it much harder than I certainly have. A lot of people took it much harder than I have. And the truth of the matter is, I'm not embarrassed and I'm not ashamed. I said from the beginning, great, take all of my contracts. I don't care. I'll go build computers at a university because they'll think, God, we got a guy 10 times better than we could afford. It's like, that's fine. I don't want to live in a country where I don't believe the vote. I've traveled, I've built systems in 50 countries around the world, and I've been sent to work in some pretty unpleasant places. And I don't want to live in one. I want to live in a democracy. I want to live in a democracy where the citizens respect each other. And the most important thing is when we have a vote, I don't care if my party loses. I don't. I care that I live in a place where I have a vote that counts. Patriot way first. A loyal person to my friends and family and beliefs second, and very distantly I'm the member of a political party. So yes, I'm a lifetime member of the GOP, but should the GOP take precedence over my nation? No. Should they take precedence over my family? No. Should they take precedence over my religious beliefs in my church? No. Do they take precedence over the Constitution? They're not even mentioned in the Constitution. It's like, those are the things that should come first. And if they are not coming first, and in not coming first, we are choosing to compromise our vote. I mean, most of the Constitution actually talks about how you run an election. If you actually read it, it assigns the positions and then assigns how they're elected in enormous detail. It spends more time on that than anything else. Whether or not you like the solution electoral college, it thought it through, and it created this system to say, we don't know what decisions you're going to make, but let's make sure that we're all in agreement on how we're going to make it and that we all believe it. We don't want another dictator. We don't want a king. We want to have a democracy. And I'm more than happy to spend my time and money and reputation, which I certainly have spent a lot of each, on this issue. And I'm right. And I will win. And everybody who is bad will go down.